everybody, it's Christy back with another video, and look what came in the mail yesterday. That's right, it's Emma's Craftamo kit. I'm so excited to get into this and see what's inside, check out the paints, and paint this picture right here. So let's crack in, let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and open this and unbox it. I am so excited for everything that's in this box. All right, so first of all, the top says Emma J times Craftamo and has their Instagram handles and says, if you love it, share it. We'd love that, which is exciting, and I definitely will do. So let's crack into this. So first of all, we have a beautiful art print here. Just absolutely stunning. Obviously Emma's work, and then it talks a little bit on the back about the painting box and tells us what we're going to get in the tutorial, and then tells us where we can go to watch the tutorial, which is super exciting. All right, so we get 4 watercolor half pans. Let's see what colors they are. I know what colors they are, but we've got these 4 half pans right here, and they are in the colors mauve, Chinese white, ultramarine, and burnt umber, which is exciting. And then here we have a 3/4 flat brush and an 8 round. Beautiful sizes and things that I don't believe I have from her. I love that flat brush. What a neat, nice size. And we have the watercolor palette. Now I think this is a one-time thing, obviously, but we have the tin that will hold the 48 watercolors that we are going to get, which I am so excited about. And then paper. Maybe I can get the paper out. There we go. Okay, so we have several sheets of paper here. It looks like a good amount of paper. And knowing Emma, I'm guessing this is some quality Craftamo paper. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of 9 by 12 paper. It's definitely cold press, which is hard for you to see, but there you go. You can see that it's cold press. And yeah, so this is really exciting. I am really jazzed to do this tutorial, and I will film myself doing it and talk about the paints. We'll swatch, and let's just have a good old time with this box. Emma, I'm so excited. right, ladies and gentlemen, well, here is my finished piece, and a couple of things. First of all, I just want to say that Emma Lefebvre is one of my favorite people on YouTube, and I am so excited for her and this opportunity she has with Craftamo, and I just think it's so cool. So right off the gate, I do want to say that. The second thing I want to say is that if you watched my painting process and you were like, oh, you jumped around a lot. Yes, I did not film the entire painting process, nor was I going to put it up even as a real-time, like, sped up art piece, because Emma did a tutorial on this, and I don't want to be the tutorial. She's the tutorial, and it's awesome. But I did show you bits and pieces of how I painted stuff, and it was so fun. Oh my goodness. So her piece, I think she did on bigger paper than this, so mine are a little more clustered together than hers. But wow, I had such a good time doing this. I'm going to go through everything with the whole box now, piece at a time. First thing I want to say is just that having 4 colors to work with and being able to mix those colors to get new colors, to get such a vibrant color palette with only 4 colors and one of them being a Chinese white is impressive. So I am automatically impressed with that. So let's go ahead and go through. I am going to do a little bit of a comparison to Sarah Cray's Let's Make Art box, just because I think that if you were between 2 different beginner watercolor boxes, that's kind of where you would be. So I've gotten the Let's Make Art box in the past, and I did really like it, but I want to talk about the differences. So we're going to start. I swatched these on like a million. You watched, you saw. So the first thing I swatched on was my B mixed media paper book that I do a lot of my swatching in. And I wanted to swatch in here because I actually wanted to tape down these, the wrappers, so that I had all of the information here, because I don't know if it's going to be on Craftamo's website, but I wanted the information about the paints. They do conform to ASTM T4236, which is pretty cool. They have permanence ratings, they have light fast ratings, and they have pigment information. So if you look, I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. So I went ahead and I actually put the pigment numbers larger out here. So the ultramarine was a PB29, that's traditional. Burnt umber is a PBR7, also traditional. Chinese white, PW5, and the mauve is a PR122, which is technically the quinacridone magenta pigment. But you can see that these swatches are vibrant and it laid down pretty nicely. I wouldn't say that it was the best paint I've ever used. I certainly think that we're semi better than student grade, not as good as artist quality. That's what I would say about these paints. But again, it's my first 4. I want to play with more before I come to full conclusions. But that is the pigment drop. Then I went ahead and I grabbed my Stillman and Byrne mixed media sketchbook. And I grabbed this one because, again, I know what, here, I'll show you the cover. It's covered, but Stillman and Byrne, and these are the beta series ones, so it's cold press paper. These are mixed media sketchbooks. I know how things perform on them, so I wanted to play. This was me playing with the round 8 brush, and this is playing with the flat brush. I think it turned out great. It was fun. I was able to get lots of colors going on here. Obviously, I got some blooms because it's mixed media paper, but I thought it was really great. I'm going to take a second here to show you the brushes. So we've got a round 8, and I love this round 8. I have the round 6 from Emma's original Craftamo set, and I always wanted one that was just a touch bigger, so I love that I got this round 8. And we've got this flat wash brush too. It's really, really nice. These brushes in general are synthetic, and they're shorter than what you would consider a traditional watercolor brush. It's not good or bad, it's just a fact. I'm going to actually pull out 2 brushes from Lindsay Wyrick's Craftamo set just to show you some differences. So I've got Lindsay Wyrick's round 8 here, and also her 1-inch flat wash. So let's start with the round brushes. As you can see here, these are both technically round 8 brushes. The one from Lindsay is going to be a little bit bigger, and it's definitely longer. And you've got a softer bristled brush. This one is a more hard bristled brush. Again, not good or bad, just different. Lindsay's is going to hold more water, but it's also going to flop around a lot more, so you're going to have better control. Emma's is going to have way better control. The point on this one is out of control, and it gives you a lot of variation, but you are going to have to work harder to get bigger areas covered. So again, both are great. I just want you to kind of see the difference between the two. Here we've got, again, pretty similar flat wash brushes. This one is a 1 inch and this one is a 3/4 inch, but you can see that the bristles on the brush from Lindsay's set are a lot longer. And again, not good or bad, just know that. And these are pretty stiff as well, although I haven't used this brush as much. These ones, pretty stiff, but again, really nice, both high quality brushes, both brushes I enjoy using regularly. So that's going to be a lot of fun to play with in the future. Just wanted to say that. Now, you will notice that the colors on here look a little bit muted compared to what happened when I did the piece. So I did want to say that the paper that came with this Craftamo set is actually pretty amazing. It's excellent paper. You can just take a look here at these two swatches. Let me see if I can get, here, I'll do it this way. If you take a look here, I guess they don't look that different under the camera, but to the mind's eye, this one definitely looks more pigmented than this one and more nicely pigmented. And that's partly because it's better watercolor paper. But you can see these swatches, I think, look much more vibrant than what's going on here. So I would argue that the paper does matter here. And this watercolor paper is pretty nice. I don't know from looking at the box if this is 100% cotton paper or not. But I will tell you what it feels like. And again, I'm an art hobbyist. I don't know, but it feels like 100% paper. If it's not 100% cotton paper, it's still at least 50% cotton paper because it's decent paper. It reminds me of the B watercolor paper, which I love. The B watercolor paper is one of my favorites. It very much reminds me of that when I started to put anything down on it. And also just looking at the texture of it, it very much reminded me of that. I have no proof that that's what it is, but I'm just telling you what it reminded me of if you were curious about the box. So back to the final painting. I loved it. I think it turned out great. I still have 4 huge sheets of this watercolor paper that I could play with. I would love to get back in there and do a floral piece with this. Maybe that's what I'll do for like a reel or a short of some kind. And the only other thing I'm going to say that I thought was like, not great. And again, it's really not a big deal. It's just me being picky. This tray, this tin, it really doesn't want to hold down my paints. So they wanted to slide around the whole time I was doing anything. I ended up clipping it. You'll watch in the video, you'll see I put a clip right here to kind of hold them in place. And that worked just fine. So yeah, I just took a clip like this and I went like this so that they wouldn't move around. But that obviously can't be like that if I want to shut the box because I can't do that. So yeah, I don't like that they move around. I'm hoping once they all get in there that they'll be tighter and they won't move around as much. But that's a very light criticism and I'm really excited to fill the palette up. So just know that if that happens to you, you could just clip it while you're using it and it will stay put and nobody will slide around and you'll be able to get your brushes in there. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say about this box. I hope that if you have the opportunity that you get these because they're a lot of fun. If you've done Let's Make Art in the past. Oh, one last comparison to Let's Make Art. I would prefer the half pans to you get like watercolor ink with that box and it's just not the same for me. I don't like it nearly as much. I would prefer the half pans. So all in all, I'm so glad I purchased this. I'm so excited to do the rest of these and I hope that you'll play along. So I think you can watch Emma's tutorial even if you didn't get the box. And if you've got these 4 paint colors, give it a shot. See if you can do this piece because it was a lot of fun and it was a really fun challenge to try to take these 3 colors plus a Chinese white and make that. And I do think that it's really worthwhile if you want to get better at art or become a better color mixer in general to be able to do things like this. So bravo, Emma, bravo, Craftamo. Thank you guys for an awesome time. Did you guys get this box? If you did, why don't you let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And that's going to be it for me today. I hope this inspires you to paint something fun and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.